Well, hello there, Stampers. It's Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it's Wednesday night. It's the last Facebook Live of April. It is April 26th, and we're going to take a look at our new in colors that are coming in the new catalog next week. And they really made me think vintage. So I decided that I'm going to do a vintage card tonight, kind of show you a few different techniques and how to make something look vintage. I'm going to use our Quiet Meadow stamp and the dies that go along with it. We're going to start out tonight with a happy note. So just how to get something started very simply when we're using a new stamp set. My goal is to help you get stamping. So as you are coming aboard tonight, please let me know your name and where you're watching from. And also, if you have any questions, please make sure that you put them in the comments, and I will either answer them during the broadcast, and if I don't happen to see them, I will respond after the broadcast is over. Let's see, what else do I have to share with you today? I guess I just want to remind you that we do have just really a few days left with the current annual catalog and the mini catalog. The last day we can order from them is next Monday, the 1st of May. And then it's all about the new annual catalog starting May 2nd. So if you don't have the new catalog and you would like one, please email me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. I want to make sure that you have what you need so that you can get stamping. But anyway, let's get stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down here so that we can see the desktop and get going. All right, let me just make sure that I am catching up with you online here. Gosh, you guys, time went so fast. I was sitting here playing around with my new colors, and I was like, oh no, 2 minutes till broadcast. Better get going. All right, so let's see. Anybody telling me they're online? Hi, Carol. And thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I'll tell you, the biggest favor that you can do and compliment you can pay to me is to share this broadcast. Share it with your family and friends. It helps more people see what's possible in the stamping world. That's great. And let's see. I'm going to watch to see if anybody else comes on. Carol, I hit something funny with my sound button. Would you please just let me know that you can hear me okay? So, Carol, I'm going to watch the comments, and if you'll just let me know that you can hear me, I'd appreciate it. And then I'm going to get the Happy Notes stuff together here. Hi, Kathy from Florida. Nice to see that you're here. And I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, great. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so here is the stamp set I was telling you about. This is, gosh, I think it is being carried over. And it's been in the catalog for a while. I really like it. It's just so very pretty. And what got me thinking vintage not only were the new in colors, but also this bit of text that's in this stamp set and all these splatters. And so that's how I'm going to get started in making this card look vintage, okay? I also really like the sentiments that are a part of this. And this flower, just all by itself, is so very pretty. So that is going to be our stamp set. It also has a number of dies, and this is called the Meadow dies. So there are a couple of tags in here, centers for the flowers, a couple of butterflies, and then there are all these like wildflowers or things that you would find in a meadow. And I have cut them out already, but there's quite the variety here. So here's some of them, and there's some more here that I'm going to take off of this paper. So anyway, that is the stamp set. This is no longer a bundle because it's been available for quite a while. So it's the stamp set and the dies. They are sold separately in the catalog. But let's go ahead, and I think I'm just going to grab just the flower here. And we're going to make ourselves a quick happy note. I think I'm also going to open up the new Moody Mauve. I don't even have this open yet, you guys, so you're going to be the first ones to see it with me. It's been really, really fun getting my new products. I have had so much fun unboxing it. Supposedly, another one has been dropped off on my porch today, but it's not here. I got a text that it was here, and it's not here, so I don't know where it is. Hopefully I'll find it on my porch when I go back upstairs. But let me just get my cling stamp mounted here. So I'm not going to have to use my Pierce mat because this has the foam backing. And let's get the You're Too Kind sentiment here. And let's just make a happy note. And you know what, guys? I'm going to make it so straightforward and simple tonight. Going to, oh boy, this is very juicy. So I won't press too hard on my happy note. Remember, they are 2 1/4 inches by 4. You can get 8 of these happy notes on one piece of cardstock, plus then you end up with 2 that are 2 inches by 4 inches. So yeah, it works out pretty well. Just gonna wash my stamp off here quick. All right, and then I'm going to just do the sentiment here as well. And, you know, it was really nice at Easter. I have been making, you know, these happy notes to share with you. I also did a class on happy notes. So I had a number of them here in my studio. And I actually shared them as gifts with relatives at Easter. So it was really, really nice to be able to do that. So anyway, just an idea. I had put some of them in cards, some in a little gift bag. Real easy, nice gift. The people that got them really like them. So just another idea for you. All right, so I think that is a happy note. And you know, let me just grab my bling package here. I'd like kind of a bigger center. Let's see here. To finish this happy note off. All right, I'm going to go with, I can't find my silver and gold. I keep all my current packages of the gems that I use in this bag. They're open. And then I have another one where I have all my backups. Here, I think we'll go with this one. And it at least keeps them somewhat together. I don't know if you guys have seen that little rack where you can hang all these off of. That would be really pretty too. I think I'm going to use the white as my flower center here. I just feel like it needs something. There we go. Okay. There. Now I like that happy note. These were the gems from the Fancy Flora Suite called Iridescent Pastel Gems. Okay. So there we go. Now that was really easy. So you can also, if you want to give this to someone as a little gift when you're doing a tip. I went out with a friend today for breakfast. This would have been perfect had I had it in my purse to give her with her tip. The other thing is this can be a card starter as well, and just put some DSP behind it and make it a card front. So very simple. So we'll set that aside. And then let me just lay out these in colors for you if you haven't seen them. As I said, I know the catalogs that people have already requested are out in the mail. And so you may have seen these, but if not, I'm sorry, I can't show you them in the catalog, but I can show you what I've already bought. So here we go. We have the Moody Mauve, which is what I just demoed to you. Copper Clay we're going to use today on our vintage card. Boho Blue and Pebbled Path. We're going to use all three of these. And then I'm going to use the cardstock called Wild Wheat. And I'll tell you, last year's in colors I loved. They were bright. They were happy. When I first saw these, you know, it didn't take long for me to fall in love with these muted tones. I think so many things are going to use these colors together. There is a designer series paper in the new catalog for daisies, and the designer series paper has all these colors in. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to use that. But just wanted to show you this as we're getting started. We're not going to use those two colors anymore today, but we are going to use these. Let me show you the card we're going to be making. So this is the vintage card, and I've layered it. It's very busy. I'm going to show you two ways to do this, which is going to result in kind of another look. And I will show you how I made this one as well. And then I really thought this was fun on the inside. I had a little bit of the card front, and then I had a scrap, and then I just did an extra die cut to decorate inside this card. So I guess I'm showing the inside before I do the outside, because today during Facebook Live, I'm just going to do the outside. But once again, it was really fun to put this inside together. All right, so let me set this off to the side a little bit so we have some room. And let's look at what I'm going to need from a paper perspective for our card. So I'm using Very Vanilla tonight, and this is the normal sized card that goes in a medium envelope. And it is 8.5 by 5.5, and then it's scored here at 4 1/4, and that's where I am making my crease. And you know what, this one's a little off, so let me fix it. And I do that by matching the corners together and then pushing up the side of the card and redoing the bone folder. I still don't have it quite the way I want it. I'm kind of making the crease side a little, adjusting it to get this square. There we go. Okay. So we have our card base. And then we're going to need a card front. And I've actually got two card fronts here because I'm going to show you two different ways to do the vintage look tonight. Hi, Becky. Nice to see you. I am catching a couple comments here. Hi, Sue. So we're going to look at the darker card front that I made on the card I already have here for you. And then I'm going to show you how to do one that's a little bit lighter, okay? So we're going to do both of those at the same time. And then I have the Copper Clay layer. Oops. Sorry, that's not the right size because I actually went ahead and die cut the meadow flowers here out of what is going to be my card base, because see, no one's going to see this, and why waste the cardstock? So that's why I did this ahead, so we would have our die cuts ready to go, and I would have the layer to put on the front of the card. I'm just getting this die cut out of the die because it's kind of stuck in here because it's skinny. Can you see how it's right in there? There's little bitty holes here that I can poke with my take your pick tool, and that will help release it from the die. And there we go, we've got it. And then I just have to make sure that all of the very small pieces are poked out of here, and that's good to go. Oops, and there's still two that have to come out of here. So poke those out, and there, we've got that too. So that's our copper clay layer. Get these little pieces all out of our way. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my multi-purpose glue to get this glued down. Hi, Amy. All right, thank you for signing in. Just going around the edge of the cardstock here to stick that down. And I'm going to go ahead and just put this on the front of the card and get that straight. A little bit more to one side, but that's fine. Adds a little character. Lets everyone know that it's handmade. All right, so we've got that down, and then we're going to be layering this on here once we're done with our stamping, okay? So let's go ahead and do our stamping. Like I said, I'm going to start these both the same way, but I'm going to finish them differently. And I am going to start with my boho blue. And I'm going to start with the text stamp first. So I'm just going to attach it here to my acrylic block. Okay. And then I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to do first, second, and third generation stamping. Oh yeah, and I wanted to tell you, so this is the normal card front size, the copper clay. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then the card front that I'm going to be stamping on is actually a little smaller. It's 3 7/8 inches, so that's 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/8 inch. So it's just an 1/8 inch smaller than this, and it's going to give me a border that's just a 1/16 of an inch around it. Just going to tip that a little bit so I make sure you can see what I'm doing. All right, so when I say I'm going to do first, second, and third generation stamping, I mean I'm going to stamp this, and then I'm going to stamp it, and then I'm going to stamp it again. Okay, so that's third generation, and you'll see then that it is, you know, getting lighter each time I do that. Okay, so let me do that again. And I'm going to do the first, and let's go down here, second, third, and you know what? I bet you can get a fourth in there. Sure enough. Let's see if we get a fifth. Okay, so I'm going to do just a little bit more, and I want it to stay on the lighter side, so I'm going to actually stamp off here first, and then go in here, and I'm actually going, you know, doing some overlapping there. Now let's go ahead and do that on our other piece, since we've got this going. So once again, I'll do a whole thing, and then I'm going to go half a thing and go again, and a little bit more, and then Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put the boho blue away, and I'm going to use the same stamp with the pebbled path. So this is our newest gray. Let me wash my stamp in between here. All right, and I'm going to ink this up now with the pebbled path. And I'm going to stamp this one off right away, and then going to go ahead and do it a couple times. I don't want this to get too dark. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and do that on the other piece here. Hi, Jeanne. Nice to see you. All right, so now I'm going to go to using the splatter stamp to actually finish this, the stamping part of our vintage background here. So go ahead and put that on my block. All right, and I'm going to just keep using the gray since I already have it out here. And just randomly, and I'm going to do that a number of different times. So we've got, it going in lighter shades. All right. Do the same here. Now, there's a lot of different ways that people make things look vintage. So this is just one technique. I'm going to put a couple, there we go. All right, and then I'm going to wash this off so that I can do a couple of the spots. I think there's plenty of blue. I'm not going to do any more polka dots for now. But I want to show you this up close so you can see what this looks like, okay? And then since I am putting the background in copper clay, I'm going to take the last part of making this background by using the copper clay. And I'm going to do it, like I said, in two ways. First, I'm going to show you how you open your stamp pad. Now, this is the darker way, and the way that I did it for that initial card is you brush it across the ink pad. Now, this ink pad is brand new, so it's really juicy. So if your ink pad wouldn't be so new, it probably wouldn't get as dark as this is going to get. But I just lightly am going across it, and you're going to get little brush marks. And then if you want to touch it with your hand a little bit, you can, to get something a little bit more in the center. And then you might want to brush your edge a little bit. Okay, and so this is always like an experiment. You never really know how it's going to go. So let's see here. So this is where I'm at with this one right now. So I'm going to let that one sit there to dry. And then I'm going to go ahead, and now I want to do a second way of making this. So let me go ahead and just kind of move this aside. I'm going to put that there. Now this time I'm going to use my sponge. So you could use the blending brush, or you could use the sponge. I'm just going to use a sponge, and I'm first going to start really light on here, because you can always do darker, but you can't, go lighter. So I'm going to just, and I'm dabbing very lightly on the ink pad and on my cardstock, okay? And I'm going to go off the edge at different intervals so that it doesn't look like I'm doing something round. That's why I'm also holding this so it's not looking like a round brush. Some people have sponge brushes. You just got to be really careful that you don't make it look like a circle. The other thing is you could do both of these together. So I'm going to use a little bit of this just to actually enhance what this one looks like by making the cardstock not so light. I actually like the way that that adds to that background. Okay, so then to get some darker areas, now I'm going to push a little harder on this ink, and I'm actually going to more wipe this along the edges to get that more aged look. So I'm hitting this harder now to get that, you know, a variety of looks, okay? So then there's that finished with just the sponge. So, hi Joan. Oh, I'm glad you like the way the sponge looks. Yeah, I do as well. So I kind of go back and forth, like I said, with a really wet pad. This is hard. I did less of the big streaks on this because I learned yesterday when I was messing around with the other one that I didn't like that as much. But anyway, so I'm interested. Joan likes the sponged look. Do you like one over the other when you're looking at the comparison for your background? So I'm going to just let this sponge dry. And, you know, I use it over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and shut my stamp pad for now. I think since I've done this one before, I am going to just finish today, and we'll decorate the one that was done totally with the sponge. I'll leave this other thing to the side here, but let's go ahead, and I'm going to glue this down now. And once again, just going to use the multi-purpose glue. And just light. I don't want to use a whole lot of glue. You don't want to have big globs of glue that you can see that on the other side. So, and remember with the 1/16, that's why I like to use my multi-purpose glue, because I can move this if I need to. But I think you can see how nice it is to have that edge, and then having used the same color ink to make the vintage look to our card, okay? So there we go. And then to make this card, so when I did the first one, I did have the, I had 3 of the copper clay looking wildflowers. Now I think that was kind of busy, so I think I want to take at least one of those away. Maybe even I'll take 2 of them away, because I really love this look of the wild wheat on here. Let's see. And then we have another tall one over here. I want to make this one look a little different. I think I'll take this other one right here in the middle. Then kind of move those around. I guess I kind of like that look. The other thing is, look at how this would look just with this, and then put a sentiment to the side. You know, you could just put one of them on here, and that really is a nice look too. Hi, Sue. Okay, let's see. I guess I'm going to go for the 3, and I'm going to put the short one in the middle here, a little overlapping, okay? So let me show you, I'm going to use some different adhesives to do this. I'm going to put these down directly because I'm going to pop up, well, let's see, I'm going to pop up this center one this time. So I'm going to use my mini dimensionals on this. So let me go ahead and put those on here. I think just those 2. Let me see if I can just cut out of the side of here a very skinny little piece because I don't want to see white on here. So I'm going to put that right there. Okay. So that's going to be on that. And then I think I've shown you before, I like to use the little glue dots that I get with my paper pumpkin in some of these situations because I'm not dealing with as much glue. So let's see, I have some bigger ones of these and some smaller ones. So I'm going to put the bigger one, a couple of them on this flower, to adhere that down. You also can buy mini glue dots in a box from Stampin' Up to do the same kind of thing. So those are available as another kind of adhesive. I also use those for putting ribbon on my cards, so they come in really handy. Now I'm going to take these smaller ones and get these on the spots of these flowers that are smaller. All right. I think that's good. So I'll get that out of the way here. Now I'm just going to pop all of these little adhesive coverings off of here. Take the adhesive off my dimensionals as well. There we go. I'm curious, do you like the in colors? What are you thinking about the new in colors if you're seeing them for the first time? Let's put that about right there. I'm not going to press really hard in case I want to move these once I get my sentiment label. So we'll just kind of set them here gently. And I'm going to put the center right there. All right. Then I'm going to do some cutting with my trimmer here and just get the labels that we need. So I'm actually going to do, I believe this is the 4-inch, well, I'm going to make this 4 inches across. So I'll just cut this at 4 inches. Well, let me do it the short way first. I'm going to do a 1/2 inch. For our sentiment label here. And so I've got that cut. Let me cut this to, like I said, 4 inches. Okay, so we're going to have that be able to go across here. And then let me get a little scrap from the wild wheat. I'm still learning these colors, so I'm going to do a 1/2 inch of that one. Okay, and I think I'm going to do this one at 3.5 inches so that it's a little bit shorter. right, we've got that. And then let's go ahead and we'll stamp our thinking of you. And I'm going to do that in the copper clay again. Hi, Dottie. Yeah, they are muted colors, that's for sure. Once again, I am double checking my stamp with these new ink pads to be careful of that. Okay, thinking of you, I'm going to do this on the wild wheat right in the center. Okay. And then actually I have my inside sentiment here, heartfelt love and caring thoughts. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I'm not going to stamp that yet. I'm going to actually get this all secured down. Now, I do want to pop both of these up, but I think what I'm going to do first is actually glue the thinking of you on the bottom of my copper clay piece here. So I want to make sure that I'm only gluing the top of this. So I'm just going to make a real fine line there because I don't want it squeezing all over the place. And then actually I came up with this size because when I was doing this earlier, these were scraps that I had so that I could just use up what I had. So I encourage you to kind of wait till the end and figure that part out. Now I do like the way this is going to look, so I'm going to press these all down now. Okay, so that they're in their spot. And I'm going to use the sentiment to help secure the stem of the center one. All right, and I'm going to actually take my, let's see, I'm going to use the regular size dimensionals that I have and use 3 of them across here. Whoops. All right, and then I'm going to have it cover up where the stems end and have it line up right with the edge of my cardstock layer there. And then let's look at a little bling. So these are actually the gems that coordinate with that Fresh as a Daisy suite, which is going to be in the new catalog. And I used the blue last time, but I think I'm going to use the copper clay this time, because the blue didn't show through as much as it did last time. So I like this accent. Oop, come on. There we go. And then on the inside, I don't have that extra piece of the area that I stamped for the card front to put a layer on the bottom, but I do have the extra die cut, and I'm going to cut that apart and use that again. So I'm going to move this over a little bit to have a little room to put that die cut on there. All right, we've got that, and then I'm going to take this, and what I did is I wanted it to go on the side here so that I'd still have room to write. So I just trimmed the side that wouldn't work with that off. Okay, so I can, adhere this very close to this edge and still have room to write. So I just need a couple of those little dots to adhere this inside. right, I'll just pop those off. And I'm going to put just a tad, a teeny tiny little bit of glue on here so the stem isn't, you know, kind of so loose that it's going to come off, okay? So I just put a real little bit on there. And I'll put this over to the side. And then I'm actually going to, I don't like the way this stem looks, I'm going to trim this down to be the very end of this stem and just pop this in the corner. You know, why throw it away, right? And there you go, another way to decorate the inside. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but I couldn't help myself. I like the way that it looks. All right, so I'm interested. Oh, I got to tell you the butterfly trick yet. Let's do that. So I had a full sheet of blue cardstock. I wanted a blue butterfly, but I did not want to cut in a piece of cardstock. So let me show you the trick that I did. I took a white piece of cardstock, and I took the boho blue Stampin' Blend, and I just took first the dark blue, the brush tip, and this is for the bigger butterfly. And I made some blue there, and then for the smaller butterfly, I wanted the light blue. So I did that. Then I took the larger butterfly die, and then the small butterfly die. Let me get my die cutting machine here. And we'll put our plates in here. Let's make our sandwich. We have our base plate. Move this just a little bit here. We've got our base plate. And then I'm going to put the cutting plate on the bottom that I use. And remember, I always flip this every time I use it so that I keep my plates straight. Then I'm going to set my cardstock down and put the dies where I want them to cut. And then I'm going to put the other cutting plate on top. And then I'm going to just roll them through. Okay. And voila, I have blue butterflies, and I didn't have to cut a whole piece of blue paper. So that really worked easy. And then you can leave them plain like this, or what I ended up doing then is taking the Stampin' Blends, and I just did a little highlighting around the edges. So on the dark one, I took the dark Stampin' Blend, and I first went around the whole outside to get it a little bit darker. I wanted to see its body, so I put the line in there. And you could leave it just like that, or you could color in and then do it some more. And then for the little butterfly, I just wanted to see his body. So I just took the nib end of the lighter blue one and just colored in his body. And then let's go ahead and I'm going to pop these guys up on the flowers here. So I need my, let me just get one of the bigger dimensionals for the bigger butterfly. And if you want the butterfly wings, you can just, curve them up a little bit. Let's get that one to be flying right by that. And then I'm going to take this smaller butterfly, and this one I'm going to put on a leaf, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. Let's see, where do we want him to be landing? We'll have him sit on this flower kind of over to the side. All right, I'm glad I didn't forget to show you that tip. So, there's so many ways you can do things if you just think about it a little bit. We pay a lot for our crafting supplies, so we always want to make the most of them. So with that, I'm interested in any other questions that you might have or comments. Once again, if you like what you saw, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Or a heart. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. And let me go ahead, and I'm going to actually flip the camera up here and see. I'm interested if you like the one that's busier or the one that has less flowers on too. What would be your preference? Well, thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Carol. Let me go ahead and be able to thank you properly. I really am so glad you could be with me tonight. It's kind of a special week, like I said, the end of one catalog and we're going into another one. And I'm going to be back next week with Facebook Live again. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, so it'll be a surprise. Watch my business page, though, with a little inside secret to kind of let you know what's going to happen. And I just hope you have a great week and you get some stamping in. So happy stamping, friends. Take care. Bye-bye now.